The tables between defending champion Felix Stenitzer and a new player, Paxson, Panganiban, Scary Terry. They've resolved mulligans and they're going to get started. Felix has won the last 2 championships. He's at the top of the screen, and Paxson is at the bottom of the screen. Let me just make sure I'm saying these names correctly. Yes, Paxson, Panganiban, and Felix Stenitzer. Felix looks like he's on some sort of a red-black build there, and that tells us what Paxson's bought his merfolk. Oh, I was going to say merfolk, but he's chucked a winding constrictor in there as well. We'll see what he names of unclaimed territory. I'm guessing it's going to be merfolk. He's chosen snake. Deep root water. He'll get the extra merfolk here from the deep root. Not mucking around these two, very quick decks. Another fatal push, so he's still got a braid in hand. He's going to push through 2 damage here. Paxson's one of our new players. I believe he's from Alaska. Two winding constrictors in hand. I think he's got to play the... Okay, he got there in the end. Scrap Heap Scrounger from Felix is not a card that we see that frequently in modern in standard these days. Earthshaker Kenra. So is he on some sort of a brew here? He used the braid to remove the constrictor, and unfortunately for Paxson, no second merfolk to reveal for Silvergill Adept, so he's not going to be able to play it. And he's going to take another 5 damage here. As Felix, now with 4 cards in hand, plays out a second Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Earthshaker Kenra can make that constrictor not block, which he does. So he's got 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 damage. I think this is lethal, and a very quick game 1 is going to go to Felix here. Paxson down to 2 life. A Pierre and Kieran here. He's going to bring back the Earthshaker from the grave, so that will do it for game 1. Unless he had double white and could have paid for a settle the wreckage. Game 1 goes to Felix very quickly. Let me check that stream time. 4 minutes to complete game 1, so we'll wait for them just while they sideboard. I'm just going to update the YouTube page to have the correct title here. We do have it. We do run a delay on the stream of 5 minutes just to avoid any chance that one player can see the other player, watch the stream to see what the other player's on. So the stream has just come online now. We're seeing Felix's hand there, Dread Wanderer, all these cards that we haven't seen for a long time. See what Paxson's got. This looks like a better hand this time. Two Deep Root Elites. You can see only the one removal spell here for... Oh, he's got two now. Taking the aggressive line to push through 4 damage. He's a land short. If he can pick up a land next turn, he can actually remove 2 creatures. Paxson's hitting his land drops here. As we see, Felix's hand's got the Chandra as well. As he loads up the Silvergill Adept. That's an interesting choice because the Adept, Felix's removal spell, he's going to want to remove that Deep Root Elite, so he's getting value out of the counter. But here we're going to have a exchange if he wants. Paxson's either going to take 4 damage or he can trade. Tough decision. If we just look what he's got in hand, I would be inclined just to take the damage. Yeah, he's going to take the damage. So now he can actually run out 2, a Deep Root Elite and the Merfolk Mistbinder. So he's got a bit of power on the board and he's getting ahead of Felix now. Or he chooses to go with another Deep Root. And if he puts another counter on the Silvergill Adept, he's not going to though. I was going to say he can actually put it out of range of a Braid. So Felix is going to use 2 removal spells here. 6 damage coming across, and that will mean lethal next turn. He reconsiders. Oh, he's rolled back, did he? Earthshaker's going to remove another blocker, so there's 8 damage coming through. This is just relentless. Yeah, he's going to be forced to trade one there. So 6, he can survive the next turn. I don't think he can afford to attack. So 2 explore triggers coming here. I don't think you want the constrictor here. Although there will actually, what's he going to do? He could take that. He leaves it on top of his library. So he's got a monster 5/4 now. But Chandra's going to be able to remove that. Removes the Silvergill Adept instead. And that's going to be lethal, so Felix is going to quickly take standard 2 games to 0. I'll just bring up that. That's a very quick 10 minutes to complete standard. So we're going to jump over to modern now. Just wait for them to get the game up and running. Okay, Felix is created again. Good that he gives it this super long name, so then when we come over to this side, it's much easier to find just there. Just waiting for Paxson to jump in. He'll want to rebound from... as we can jump in now and see what's going on. Felix at the top of the screen. Paxson at the bottom. Just resolving mulligans. I believe this is Felix. He always plays this 5-color humans these days. Yep. And Paxson is on. Looks like a more traditional green-black control. As yep, Kevin names humans and passes the turn. So is he going to Thoughtseize? What do we take with Thoughtseize here? See what the freebooter can get. Freebooter can't actually get anything. Oh, it can get a brutality. So does he take... It's either that or Thalia's lieutenant, I think. I think you take the freebooter because then the... Oh, he chooses to take the lieutenant, okay. He could take the freebooter because the freebooter's probably going to... Oh, he's drawn another one. But freebooter can take the... collective brutality now. I'm just looking at Paxson's hand. I think Dark Confidant. Oh, we've got some spicy stuff here. I must admit, I don't even know what the scavenge mechanic does. But I think Dark Confidant is not the best card in this matchup because the humans is so aggressive, and to pile on more damage is just going to be... He's going to go with the Dark Confidant, but I don't know how many draws he can afford to take from it. Felix with nothing going on, so he's going to crack the clue main phase. Nothing to hit with the freebooter. And the phantasmal image that he has left in hand, not really anything ideal to copy either. He could actually copy Dark Confidant if he wanted to. Thoughtseize and a Maelstrom Pulse. Well, Maelstrom Pulse is nice here. Take down the 2 freebooters. But that life loss, he's down to 14. That's a nice pickup from Paxson. Felix runs out the champion of the parish. She's looking for another... Okay, Meddling Mage will probably name Collective Brutality here. That's gonna pump the champion. See what it... Oh, he named Thoughtseize instead. So, champion can actually die here from the collective brutality next turn. I'd be inclined just to get rid of this, get this confident off. I don't know if he can take another turn with it. See what it's going to reveal. Tarmogoyf. Okay, so he's starting to stabilize. And a Death Shadow. This looks like straight up green-black Death Shadow. Haven't seen this before. Brutality could gain him some life here as well. Oh, he can't gain life actually with the Death Shadow. Although humans is not going to do any damage here. I think he's got to get the champion of the parish off the board. That's the priority. Felix is actually out of gas on the other side, so if only a phantasmal image, he might be inclined to use that next turn. You can see the life gain he took there is weakened his Death Shadow, so he's going to take a hit now. Unless he wants to use the Dark Confidant. Oh. And Felix couldn't run that card out fast enough. Reflector Mage. What does he want to bounce here? Bouncing a Death Shadow. Yeah, I'd make the trade now. You don't want to go to 9. Yep, he's trading with the Meddling Mage. See what his draw is for the turn. He can't run out the Death Shadow here. Ether Vial is definitely not the thing he wants to draw off the top, so I think and likewise, Paxson doesn't want to draw an Inquisition at this point. He can run the Death Shadow back out, and I think he's turned a corner now. I think Felix's deck has run out of gas. This card, again, I'm going to have to look it up. Scavenge Mechanic. Give me a moment. Okay, Scavenge is exile a card from your graveyard, put a number of +1 counters equal to the card's power on target creature. Scavenge only is a sorcery. So yeah, that could be get very powerful very quickly. Do you actually have to pay this? Okay, so he scavenged the Dark Confidant and get 2 powerful Varolz. I'm going to have to make a note because that card would be very good in my Sidisi EDH deck. I haven't seen it before. So he's going to play Reflector Mage. He's down to 8. We're in a straight up race here. What's he going to bounce? Varolz? Oh no, targeting Death Shadow. He's down to 6, but Felix has only got 3 power on the board. He's going to scavenge the Death Shadow and force a block here because Tarmogoyf's a 16-17. That's nuts. and he takes game one. So full credit there to Paxson, because it's a very unique deck. I'm guessing it's his own brew, and he came up trump. So that for a period there, it looked like he was in deep trouble, but he somehow managed to get out of that. As the players just go to sideboarding now, I'm not... Felix, I'm guessing, is going to bring in some sort of a graveyard hate to try and deal with that. Oh, he said Felix has just sent me a message. There was an error there where he didn't block. Where is the game? Yeah, so there wasn't actually just a straight up concession. Felix pushed F5 by mistake and skipped the block. According to league rules, that's his fault. So the game plays out as it should. Technical issues belong to the player solely, but I think at that stage Paxson was in a very commanding position anyway. Players still sideboarding, so I think on Paxson's side we're probably just going to see more creature removal come in. They're back at it now. For Felix, I'm guessing that he wants something for the graveyard. I don't know what he would have. There's a one-lander. Should we look? Thron the Last Troll. We're just looking at these. Paxson keeps this hand. Ether Vial in his opening hand, so Felix kept a 6-lander. Mulligan once and kept a 6-lander. So he's kept the Dark Confidants in here. He's going to have access to Inquisition. He can probably... He's got a number of different lines he can go here. I think he could play the Liliana if he wants to. Just looking at Felix's hand, he's going to want to get that Mantis Rider. He's got 2 Mantis Riders actually. Yeah, get some information first. I think you take the Mantis Rider because it's got haste. He does, he takes the Mantis Rider, so what's his follow-up play? He's going to go the card advantage route. Okay. He can still run Liliana next turn, so he's got the 3rd land now for Mantis Rider if he wants to go that way. Offering up a trade here, and Paxson takes it, but he's going to flash in a copy of the Lieutenant. what do you do here? I think you go up and get rid of that Mantis Rider. No, he's gone down. Ooh. He can't fatal push this turn. See what card Felix just drew. Another Ether Vial, not what he wants. So Liliana's going to die here. Oh, Mirren Crusader is in protection from black and from green. Paxson's 2 colours. And a double striker. So he's got 7 power on the board, so Liliana's gone. No, he's not even going to bother with Liliana. He can discard the Ether Vial next turn. See the draw for the turn. He does have the fatal push in hand. But he has to get something off the battlefield first before he can play that. Yeah, it's really awkward. He doesn't want to gives away a bit of information there because he doesn't plus Liliana with 1 card in hand and a black floating. I mean a black available. So I think Felix will pick up on that. So now he can dump his hand. What's his last card? That Mirren Crusader he's going to flash in with Ether Vial. So again for... Okay, now he can chump with the Birds of Paradise. No, he's done that wrong. No, undo. I think he wanted to float the black and then block, but you actually have to block and then float the black. So he's going to take the damage. Yeah, that's a technical issue, probably caused by. Yeah, he says he's trying to block, not tap for mana. Just did it a bit early. It's a technical issue with X-Mage. You just basically from using it enough times. And you could see in the last turn as well, he didn't tick Liliana up again because so we're going to have round 2 here. Does he get it right this time? He can chump with the bird now, declare blockers and then do it. Which one does he want to kill? I think you take down the Mantis Rider because he's got the Thales Lieutenant covered by Throne. See what you can draw for the turn. I don't know if you want that when you're at 4 life. 9 life. It's risky. So now we're going to see the Mirren Crusader now, which is going to be almost a win here. It's going to come in for 4 damage. Coming in for 4 damage and he's not going to be able to block. See if Felix picks up for the turn. another land. So he'll crack that. Just as long as it's not 2 mana. Yeah, 1 he can play it out. Actually, Mirren Crusader is going to get in here. He can get Exalted from the Hierarch and do 6 damage. If he wanted. Thalia's Lieutenant is kind of a waste of time because the Thrawn's just going to regenerate. He should have just swung the Mirren Crusader there. But I think we're going to a game 3 here. I don't see how Paxson can beat that Mirren Crusader. He's going to take at least 4 damage next turn. Felix can just send it by itself with the Noble Hierarch. See what his draw for the turn was. 2 lands, that's not going to get the job done. I think we're going to game 3. Hissing Quagmire would have been handy a little bit earlier. Actually, he can minus... I think the only line he had there is he could have minus Liliana and hope for a misplay, and that Felix would sack the Noble Hierarch, would buy him a turn. But I don't think Felix is going to make that mistake. See what he draws for the turn. Just a swing with Mirren Crusader by itself will get it done here. Thalia. Yep, that will get the job done, and we're going to go to a game 3 in Modern. So we'll see what differences they can bring in from the side. But I'm a bit surprised Paxson. I mean, the Dark Confidant is necessary part of what he's trying to do, but I think because he's taking so much early damage and so frequently, he can't really afford to be... Can't really afford to have it out there, and then it's a terrible top deck if you're below 10. I think in that match as well, he probably at that point needed to minus on the... I'm sorry, not minus. He minused on the Liliana when he needed to plus, because he knew that there was a Mantis Rider in hand. So I think he should have plussed, got rid of the Mantis Rider rather than getting rid of the Thalia's Lieutenant. I think that's hand's a keeper for Felix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threats. Doesn't have his Ether Vial. But this is super risky on the other side. Although the birds is probably pretty safe because there's not a lot of removal in the deck here. Yeah, so he's keeping. I think that's a good keep for Paxson. On the play this time. No hand disruption though. If he can hit a land off the top. Excuse me. If he can hit a land off the top here, turn 2 Liliana Last Hope will be awesome against this deck. See if he gets a land. He does. Okay. Now I think he's in a very strong position. This is going to be very difficult for Felix to beat this. Kitesail Freebird is going to take the fatal push, and then it can start getting in the air. Well, it can't get in because Liliana will be plussing on it. But both of these Thalias, the Lieutenant and Thalia herself, are not going to be playable here. See what the draw is for the turn. A Field of Ruin. Tarmogoyf is only a baby at this point. We've got land and creature 2. So they're 2-3. 2-3 Tarmogoyf. Yeah, Felix is saying, I just noticed he says damn. And, no, don't want to run that out. It's dead. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Get Varolz out there ASAP. So once he gets lower on life, he can actually exile that card. So what does Felix do here? Oh, Mantis Rider. That was his draw for the turn. A very good draw. Liliana can actually survive here if he pluses on the Mantis Rider. What can Thoughtseize take? I think Thoughtseize... what? Oh, I see. That's even cooler than I thought in the first place. That's a 13-13 in the grave. That is a monster Birds of Paradise. So forget about the how to block for Liliana there. Does he get in here? Yeah, he can get in. There's no point hanging around because 15 damage coming through. What do you take here? I think you take... oh, he doesn't have a black source for the freebooter. I think he's played his land this turn. He doesn't have a... the freebooter is going to give him back his fatal push, but he doesn't have a... oh, okay, he went the other way. And now freebooter can't even get in here on Liliana because Birds of Paradise is going to... who would have thought Birds of Paradise beatdowns for the win? Oh no, actually he's got a Reflector Mage, so that will take care of the Birds of Paradise. So the plan was cool while it lasted, but that, yeah, I forgot about the Reflector Mage in hand. He can Thoughtseize here to make Tarmogoyf for 3-4. Ooh. I think what the play here is to Thoughtseize first, then swing first and see, force him to give up Reflector Mage if he wants to. No, and then tick Liliana after that, because now if he ticks... because now if he doesn't offer a block, then Reflector Mage is actually going to get an extra point of damage in. Takes the Lieutenant just to stop the pump from those creatures for the next turn. And in comes what could... yeah, so no blocks, so he's going to go after Liliana here. And we're going to have a 1-turn clock in game 3 of Modern. We see Paxson's got that Damnation as security in hand. Champion of the Parish was a draw for the turn. So he's going to be able to pump the Champion of Thalia here. So you see what the draw is. No other black source. Thalia down. He's gonna have to give up the champion of the parish here. See what he draws for the turn, just to give him a bit of info on what to block with. Dismember. So Dismember will take down the Goyf next turn, so it's not going to be lethal next turn, but he still needs to block here because he doesn't have the spare mana. Oh, actually he can't even play Dismember. He doesn't have any black mana to pay for it. So that was a terrible draw at this point. So now he's got to hold one of these guys back to block the Tarmogoyf. Oh no, he's got a Noble Hierarch will do that job now. Does he give up? Does Paxson want to give up his Birds of Paradise here? I think he does, because he can use that Field of Ruin to get his second black. On the instep here, it'll function as a fetch land. Keeps Liliana alive. So now he has to give up. He's going to tick up Liliana. I don't see any way out of this for Felix. And Felix is going to drop his best format in the first week. Liliana on the Noble Hierarch, force the Reflector Mage to block. Hold on, he's got something on that I don't know about here. He wants to get back Varolz. I don't know if I like that play. Yeah, I think he just gave Felix a turn there. Should have plus the Liliana, then forced the Reflector Mage to block, and he would have had 2 Tarmogoyfs. But the superior quality of his creatures is starting to come out now, but I think he's just opened the window a little bit. Inquisition's going to take the Dismember, which can't be cast anyway. No, he doesn't use Varol's ability there. Every swing here is lethal, so he has to get in front of something. It's going to be Thalia this time. The other problem for Felix, he still has to turn this around to do 15 points of damage. And there's going to be 3 lethal creatures on the board next turn, so we'll see what he draws for the turn. He draws a land, so he can get a look. No, he's conceded. So Paxson has taken Modern 2 games to 1. Felix is he's been the Modern champion about the last 3 years in a row. So that's a very exciting result for one of our new players. And it all comes down to Felix took Standard 2 games to 0. So as it stands right now, Felix is sitting on 5 points and Paxson's sitting on 4. We're going to head to Legacy for the deciding match. Not sure what Felix is on. He played Eldrazi in Legacy for quite some time. I don't know if he's still playing that. As we jump in, they're into this is the final format. This is Legacy. Whoever wins this will be sitting on top of the European League momentarily. There's still 2 more matches to go in the round. Okay, looks like he's still got his Eldrazi going on. We'll see what, and he reveals it straight away. Better Skull. Is this Death and Taxes from Paxson? So we're going to see a Thought-Knot Seer here. What do you take? I think you have to take, is it the Mother of Ruins? Because the two of them can combo together. Although, actually no, Mother of Ruins is useless in this matchup. Because the Eldrazi are colourless. Runs out Thalia. Yeah, very interesting. I think this is a heavily favoured match for Felix. He's going to equip the Jite. He can safely get in here. There's only 3 points of damage on the board. Make sure the coast is clear with a second. What does he take? I think he took the Mirren Crusader. So this one could be over very quickly, I think. Mother of Ruins just very bad in this matchup. One of the few times you can say that. And if he wants to here, Jite is just going to go pow pow and clear the board. Well, that's one card that he can do something with. Okay, so he uses one Jite. 2-turn clock as it stands. He's going to use the Jite again to shoot down the second Mother of Ruins. Thought-Knot will elicit a response towards the Plowshares. So Sarah Avenger is down. Wasteland can take down the temple, but I think it's too late here. Third Mother of Ruins. Yeah, so Wasteland the temple. He still has to deal with the 2-turn clock on the board. See what Felix has drawn for the turn. Down to 4. So we could be going to a game 2 pretty quickly here. Another Thalia. Yep, game 2 coming. We'll see 2 chump blocks. Oh no, actually we won't, because Jite is going to shoot them down. Well, Jite huge in this deck. Sorry, huge against this deck. Thought-Knot Seer's swing, and that's a very fast game 1 in Legacy to Felix. Sideboarding, I don't know what he's going to bring in. I think Mother of Ruins is coming out. Yeah, Mother of Ruins will definitely come out. I don't know what other sort of removal he has, but this is quite a taxing removal deck. We could already see the Wasteland. You'd assume he's got 4 of those, which will be very effective. So I think Paxson's game post sideboard will improve, not so much from this sideboarding itself, but from the knowledge of who he's up against and what hand he wants to keep, because the hand he kept there in isolation was a pretty good hand. I mean, 2 Mother of Ruins and a Thalia. Unfortunately, he was just up against a whole deck of colourless creatures. as we just wait for them to finish sideboarding. Yeah, I think from Felix it's just going to be more of the same. Run out your threats. The key here for Paxson is going to be he's going to need some sort of removal. Felix just plays too many dual lands that produce 2 mana. So Eldrazi Temple, City of Traders, and not Wasteland. I forget the name. It was published in EMA. So you're not going to be able to hold him off lands forever, but I think you can slow him down considerably. As we're back into it now, we'll see what they've done post sideboard. I don't think he will keep that one. We'll see what's on Paxson's side. Well, Caracas again is not going to do it. I think he shipped this hand. 1 lander. Phyrexian Revoker. You can see all of these spells in isolation are nifty and do something, but against a colourless Eldrazi deck, they don't really do anything. As Paxson ships that one. This one I think you have to keep. Yep, he'll keep that one. Felix still deciding. He also went to 6. Paxson's going to be on the play. Felix keeps his own Caracas. Felix has got nothing going on, so he's looking for a threat. So a fast start here is the key for Paxson. Against this humans, this Death and Taxes deck, Felix might have been looking there for a Chalice of the Void as well, which can do a bit of work. He's found a Dismember. Well, actually, Caracas will have on Felix's side can check the Dismember until. Sorry, can check the Thalia until we find something. I'm not sure about the Wasteland there. I'm not sure either what he wants to name a Phyrexian Revoker, because he can't do anything to Chalice. Thought-Knot's not an activated ability. I mean, he can Endbringer, but he didn't see any Endbringers in the first game. Flicker Wisp is certainly going to be handy against a Thought-Knot Seer, but not when it's in your hand. Although Thought-Knot will take Swords to Plowshares, you'd imagine. Okay, so Revoker's coming down. I'm curious to see what he wants to name here. Okay, he can name Wasteland. But that's also going to shut off his own Wasteland. Is he interested in naming Mishra's Factory? This is on the stack. Revoker's in, so if he's named Thought-Knot Seer, so I don't think he I don't think he understands that rule correctly. This is activated abilities. So you can see Felix has got his 4 mana, but he's just got nothing to play with it. He's got City of Traders, so he can play Inbringer next turn. Richard Port's going to be very handy here. No, he's done it wrong again. Oh, okay, so he's going to tap down Mishra's Factory so it can't activate and block. I think I would have used the Richard Port to tap down the Ancient Tomb in the upkeep. In response, I think it's Thalia you kill here. So he dismembers Thalia. He's saying it. Okay, so there's a bit of an issue here where he tried to dismember the Thalia. he tried to dismember the Thalia. In response, Paxson wanted to actually use Caracas to return Thalia to his hand, but he's saying that it didn't give him a chance to respond. He's requested a rollback, and Felix has denied the rollback, citing a case in the previous match where I couldn't respond to your Goyf attack. What he means by that is that the lethal swing in game 1 or 2, I think it was game 1, the lethal swing in game 1 could have been blocked by Reflector Mage, but Felix let it through because he pushed F5 and couldn't block. Okay, that's a nice play there. He's just Flicker Wisp his own Revoker to name Endbringer, so Endbringer's just a 5/5 now. So in this particular instance, this is a matter of sportsmanship. You can see Felix is down to 8 from his taking a beating from the mana, down to 5 now. So he's probably going to have to use all his dust next turn. Okay, this is a matter of sportsmanship here, because this is clearly an issue with using X-Mage. So Paxson couldn't resolve the Caracas because he couldn't resolve the Caracas on his Thalia. Sorry, I'm trying to look at many things at once, so concentrate on what I'm trying to say. He couldn't resolve the Caracas on his Thalia because I'm assuming he'd mispressed like an F9 or something, so he skipped through that opportunity. That's always the danger of using shortcut keys. He asked Felix to roll back, and Felix denied it. Now that is not against the rules. We have in the league guidelines for how to be sportsmanlike. what we call sportsmanlike, and we certainly encourage one particular sort of behaviour. But we, as moderators, we can't actually enforce anything in that instance because it's part of the program. It's part of XMage. So we're not normally required to intervene in matters of, say, cheating. It clearly wasn't a case of cheating. Whether there was a sportsman-like issue there is another story. But having said that, it is something that we actively monitor. I'm not sure what's going on there. Why couldn't he block then? Yeah, I don't know why he can't block. He said there's a bug there. Yeah, so you see here, he's swinging a 4-3 into a 5-5. I've got no idea why he would do that, but it's his game, he can do that. But for some reason it didn't allow Felix to block, and I can't see anything in the board state that would be a reason for that. So he's going to equip it again. I don't know what's going on here. Because he has to do damage to the player to get the card draw. Okay, so now we have the block. Revoker's just going to die. I don't know why you don't do that, because there's no trample here. He has to do that before combat. He's only going to find a Revoker, so nothing to see there. Okay, so now it's a case of playing off the top, because if we look at Felix, has got nothing, and I think Felix has the better cards to peel off the top. Although that might have something to say about that. He still has to push the damage though. See what Felix draws off the top here. Oh, Ballista. Okay, that's going to be a problem. For how much? 3. Okay, so you can shoot down a Revoker here. Okay, let's see what Paxson's going to find off the top. Stoneforge. Well, this is going to be interesting because 1, 2, 3. He needs one more land to be able to. Yeah, the Batterskull's going to come out next turn. I think here in the upkeep you have to use the port. Use Richardson Port to tap down force him to use that ancient turn to take damage. Now he's offering up a trade. I think he should have done this before combat. Before playing the Stoneforge. What's he gonna find here? Jite's gonna get some counters. Mother of Ruins is still in the deck. Yes, and now we can pump Ballista to 4. Whereas if it 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, you can make Ballista up to a 4 if he wants to. But the colourless creatures, I think, are just getting too big. They're getting out of hand now. An 8/8. Only probably Swords to Plowshares can save him from here. PST 1210. So he's going to shoot down the Mystic. Well, he tried to equip. Did he try to equip the Jite? Okay, the Jite counter just finishes off the Ballista. And he's going to keep his Stoneforge Mystic alive. I think there was just a whole calamity of mistimed plays there. See what he can find is he gets in another Ether Vial. A nice top deck here would be the Flicker Wisp onto the Endless One to get it out the way and it become a 0/0 and just disappear. But as it stands, that Endless One is a 2-turn clock. It's an Urborg as a draw for Felix. So Endless One can get in here. So he'll be looking for a Flicker Wisp. Another Stoneforge. No, you don't want that, I don't think. It can be a chump blocker at least. It does require an answer because as it stands Felix doesn't have one, so he can get the Batterskull in next turn regardless. But the Batterskull still is not going to be good enough to beat that Endless One. And this is the problem. Activating Eye of Ugin now to find whatever he wants. What does he want to find? He could find a Thought-Knot Seer and get that Batterskull out of the hand. He's going to find an Endbringer. Endbringer will enable him to draw cards as well. But because he's at 4 life, he's not really in a position here where he can... You can see he's not tapping the Ancient Tomb. Or is tapping the Ancient Tomb. Why is he not taking 2 damage? Oh, he's tapping it for black through the Urborg, okay. As this looks pretty dire now, there's going to be lethal on board next turn. It's a bit pointless, that block, because it's got trample. Okay, you get some counters on GT. GT can't actually do any damage. It can gain you life, but it can't do any damage. $18 damage on board, and a third ether vial. I think that's game. Now what he can actually block with... No, he can't. He can't block and then tap it for Batterskull because he declared blocks at the same time. So yeah, I think he's just dead because on a Batterskull block Endless one, he'll take 13, but he'll go to 16 and it'll leave him with 3. Then he can use the 3 mana, return the Batterskull and run it back out again. That seals it though. If he didn't draw that Reality Smasher, then he was safe. And so Felix is going to take... Felix is going to take down Legacy 2 games to 0. Can he survive? He can get 4 life from GT, we'll put him to 15. What's he doing with Endbringer? Oh, target creature can't block. Okay, yep. And that was a good win from Felix, despite all the bugs. And a good first up modern win from Paxson. So thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back, and I'm guessing about 5 minutes with more Legacy.